up, GI TV? My name is Tim. As most of you know, I've been playing Airsoft for quite some time now. And one of the things that I used to do that I'm sure a lot of you still do now is tech on your own airsoft guns, specifically my AEGs. I never really would work on my gas blowback guns because I never really had that many to begin with. But anyway, once I was done teching on my gun, I always ran into a fundamental problem that I didn't know what my gun was shooting after I put it back together. I didn't know if I had any air leaks that I needed to chase out. I didn't know if the spring I put in would put me over the FPS limit for the field that I was going to. It was just kind of ambiguous. Now, I didn't tech often enough to warrant buying my own chrono, but nevertheless, I did it often enough that I changed how my gun performed, and I wasn't really sure how it would work out, at least until I got to the field and chrono tested my gun for gameplay. So one of the things that I resorted to give myself a rough estimate as to my gun's muzzle velocity was use a Coke Can Chrono test. Now, the Coke Can Chrono test is going to be the subject of today's video. We're going to teach you guys how to do it if you don't want to buy your own chrono. Now, keep in mind that the Coke Can Chrono test is not scientific. If you really want to get your gun dialed in, if you're really serious about the performance of your AEG or gas blowback gun, then you really need to buy a chrono so that you can fine-tune your gun's performance. But if you don't tech that often, then the Coke Can Chrono test is probably going to be a good solution for you. Now, before we get started, there's a couple of things you need to know. You absolutely need to use .20 gram BBs for the test. Your muzzle needs to be about 2 inches away from the plane on the Coke can that you plan to shoot. Obviously, you need to have eye protection and something to catch the BB once you're done. Now, do not hold on to the can when performing the Coke Can Chrono test. You might inadvertently shoot yourself in the hand, plus the test will change the results if you're holding onto it. So you want to have the can set away about 2 inches away from your muzzle before you fire it. So let's get started with the first test. First up, we have the under 350 FPS test. During our test, we found out that a gun shooting under 350 will penetrate both sides of the Coke can, but not penetrate the bottom of the can. Next, we're going to test a gun shooting over 350 but under 400 FPS. What we found is that a gun shooting under 400 but over 350 will penetrate both sides of the can, as well as the bottom center of the can, but it will not penetrate the bottom edges of the can. An AEG shooting over 400 FPS but under 480 FPS will be able to penetrate both sides, the bottom and center of the can, and the bottom edges of the can. However, it will not be able to penetrate the top of the Coke can whatsoever. Now, even though most fields won't let you play with an AEG shooting over 400 FPS, we decided to test a gun shooting over 480 just for fun. A gun shooting over 480 will easily be able to penetrate both sides of the can, the bottom, center, and edges of the can, and the top of the Coke can. Well, there you have it. That is the Coke Can Chrono test in a nutshell. Remember, it's not an exact science. If you plan to perform the Coke Can Chrono test, you got to use .20 gram BBs. You have to have proper eye protection. Keep your muzzle about 2 inches away from the plane on the can that you plan to shoot. Do not hold on to the can. You don't want to shoot your hand, and you may mess up the results. And remember to be aware of what's behind the can. You want to have a proper BB catch to catch the BB if it goes through. My name is Tim. This is the Coke Can Chrono test on GI TV. Thanks for watching.